Alright, so before I get into any of the steps that you need to take, I just want to give you a quick background or a quick summary on my journey so far, just in case you're new to my channel. So as I already said, I was working a 9 to 5 job, and the job that I was doing specifically was working as a bookkeeper slash finance executive. So I didn't really mind my job and I didn't really mind what I was doing on a day-to-day basis, but what I didn't like was the company that I worked for in terms of the manager that I had. I felt restricted, I felt like I was always being watched, and I never had the freedom that I needed for me to do my job in the best possible way. So it was during this job that I had that I decided to start my own business, and I initially had to start it as a side hustle because I was working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Now, the business that I decided to start at the time was an eBay business where I would find products at a cheap price, I'll list it on my eBay store, and I'll be able to make a profit that way. And the reason why I decided to start an eBay business was because it's something that I was kind of playing around with before I even started the 9 to 5 job. So I had experience with it and I knew that sellers were also seeing success. So I thought, you know what, let me put all my focus into that one particular online business model. And of course, the rest is history. I've been able to grow that business to over $1 million. I've been able to generate millions of dollars, generally speaking, with various different online businesses as well. And this now brings me on to one of the first steps that you guys need to take, which is that you need to decide on which business you want to put your energy into. And the reason why I say this is because there's so many different ways to make money online. There's so many different side hustles that you can start. But for you to even be in a position to be somewhat successful, it's all going to come down to you making a decision on which side hustle is best for you. For example, we've got things like drop shipping, affiliate marketing, becoming a copywriter, email marketer, video editor, YouTuber, content creator, whatever it is. We live in a day and age right now where there's so many different options out there, but those that are going to be successful are the ones that are able to pick one particular business model and put all their focus into that. This is the first step that you're going to need to take, and it's something that I wish someone sat me down and told me, because when I first started my business, there wasn't so many different options out there, but there was a few, and I was trying so many different things at the same time. Even though, yes, I was working my 9 to 5 job as a finance executive, I was trying to sell on eBay, I was also trying to do Forex, I was trying to day trade stocks, I was trying to do a number of different things all at the same time, juggling various different side hustles, and of course, as you guessed it, I wasn't seeing any success with any of them. Now, yes, I was seeing a little bit of success here and there, whether it was me winning a couple trades in Forex or I was generating a couple sales with eBay, but I wasn't able to grow things past a certain point. Until one day I came across some advice from an online mentor that told me about the importance of laser focus. Up until that point, I never really understood it, but when she broke it down and explained it, I realized that that's what I needed to do. I needed to cut out every other thing that I was doing and put all my focus into the one that I knew that I wanted to grow over the foreseeable future. Because you have to remember that if you're currently working a full-time job, there's no way that you can do that. And you can also do drop shipping, you can also do affiliate marketing, you can also build this and build that, because your time is a little bit limited. And if you're not using your time wisely when it comes to one particular side hustle, then you're never going to see any real success. And this now brings me on to the second step that you need to take, which is that once you've decided on whatever side hustle that you want to put your energy into, you need to now work on it every single day. And when I say every single day, I'm talking Monday to Sunday. One of the main reasons why I was able to get to the point where I made enough money for me to hand in my notice, leave my 9 to 5 job, was because I was working on my business every single day for a few months. Most people claim that they're serious about the side hustle that they're doing alongside their full-time job, but they're only working on it maybe a couple hours per week. Or maybe they're working on it on a Monday, Tuesday, and a random Friday, but for the rest of the week, they're sitting down on the sofa with a bag of chips, watching Netflix. And this is the mistake that I made myself. But until I started working on that eBay business every single day, whether it was me doing something small, whether it was me doing something big, finding winning products, listing those products, contacting suppliers, doing some sort of accounting for my business, looking at exactly what products were selling well, just doing something every single day, that's the point where I was able to now figure out exactly what mistakes I was making and what I could do to improve things. And most of you right now are probably thinking, but Sam, I work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, how exactly am I going to work on my side hustle every day? And that's exactly what I thought as well. But it all comes down to time management. As long as you're using your time wisely, then you're definitely going to be able to do it. The way that I done it is that I would wake up early before work, even if I had to wake up at 4, maybe 5 a.m. I'll do something before work, for example, packing orders, then during work, during my lunch break, I would ship out those orders, and then after work, I would find more winning products for me to list, and I would repeat that cycle over and over again. Yes, things wasn't always easy. Yes, I was tired a lot of the time, and yes, that's when I started my coffee addiction. But at the same time, it was the thing that allowed me to get to the point that I'm at right now. But moving on to one of the next steps that I don't really see that many people talking about on the internet when it comes to making money online and starting a side hustle, which is the importance of free cash flow. Now, most people, when they first start making money online, tend to focus on profit, which is obviously important. And a lot of beginners make the mistake of just focusing on revenue, but what you also need to consider is free cash flow. And just to give you a quick example of exactly how this works, in a simplistic way, let's assume that your business generates $10,000 every month. If it has expenses of around $10,000, then you've got zero free cash flow. With that same example, your business might have made profit, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's any money left over when it comes to paying yourself. So you want to make sure that every single month, all of the money that's coming in is a lot higher than the money that's coming out, so that there's a certain amount left, which is the free cash flow that you're going to use when it comes to paying yourself a salary. This is what I did anyway, and this is the thing that helped me because I put a lot of focus into my free cash flow every month, January, February, March, April, May, so on and so forth. I was able to build up my free cash flow to the point where it was double, triple, quadruple the amount that I was earning every month from my 9-to-5 job. And the main point that I'm trying to make right now and I'm trying to get across to you is that you don't want to just start a side hustle just for the sake of being able to show off to your friends and family or your co-workers. And you don't want to start a side hustle just so that you can put it on social media and change your bio to business owner. You want to start a side hustle for the number one reason of having a side hustle in the first place, which is to generate cash flow that's going to be able to give you a certain level of freedom. And this is a trap that most people end up finding themselves in, which is that they start a business for the vanity reasons rather than the actual practical reasons of why a business exists in the first place, which is to generate money. So if you're able to remember this, as you're doing your side hustle, as you're putting in all of the work and you're not doing it to show off to other people, that's the point where you're going to be able to take real steps, practical steps to create a real business. And this now brings me on to one of the final steps that I wish someone told me when I first started my side hustle, which is that the side hustle isn't the final goal and you want to have the mindset to turn it into a real business. Another common mistake that I see so many people making is that they think too small. They want to start a side hustle and they want to keep it that way. And in my opinion, that isn't the best way to do it. Because if you end up thinking small, you're going to end up limiting the amount of progress that you can see. For example, if I use my own experience again, when I first started my side hustle, even though yes, I was working my 9-to-5 job and I didn't want to be there, but because I was thinking so big, I was able to grow my sales from $10,000 a month to $30,000 a month, up to $50,000 a month, making a decent amount of profit. And because I was thinking so big, things took off in a quick way and I was able to leave my job without worrying about money too much. But the main point that I'm trying to make right here is that you don't want to just start a side hustle to keep it as a side hustle. You want to turn it into a fully fledged online business. And of course, it's all going to come down to you making sure that you've got the right mindset from day one. You don't want to limit yourself and tell yourself that you're only capable of running a side hustle. You need to tell yourself every single day that you've got the capabilities when it comes to running a real business with real employees, generating real money. This is the mindset that I had. I always told myself that I was going to be able to build a business that was going to generate millions, even though yes, I sometimes doubted myself, but because I had that as a fundamental belief, I was able to take the necessary actions to make my financial dreams come true. And this now brings me on to the final tip that I want to share with you guys that, again, I wish someone told me because it definitely would have helped me and reassured me on my own journey, which is that you need to make sure that from the moment that you decide to start your side hustle to the point where you hand in your notice and leave your 9-to-5 job, and then eventually growing and scaling a real online business, which is that you don't quit too soon. There's going to be so many different obstacles that's going to pop up and they're going to challenge you and they're going to make you think that you're not worthy of becoming the entrepreneur that you're trying to become. But you got to see those obstacles as things that you need to overcome for you to learn whatever lesson you need to learn. There's been about 100 different obstacles that I've faced on my journey so far, and even till now, I'm still going through obstacles, but they get easier and easier because I see them in a different way. Once I'm able to overcome a certain obstacle, I now understand exactly what I need to do to solve that particular problem. And I also understand that my competition end up giving up at those obstacles, which means that if I'm able to continue going, I'm going to be able to get to the top of my game and make the money that I'm trying to make. And if you have the same mindset, you're also going to be at the top of your game as well. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to press the like button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much in advance. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit the bell notification so that YouTube can let you know when new videos have been released. And if you also want to sign up to a completely free email newsletter where every single week, I'm going to send you an email about the online business models that I've been able to build up. Whether it's an email about selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, doing drop shipping, whatever it is, you're going to receive an email from myself personally to help you on your money making journey. So you're going to be able to sign up to that free newsletter by clicking the first link in the description down below. And if you also wanted to watch another YouTube video that I made recently where I go through some of the practical steps that you need to take when it comes to being able to make your first $100 per day in profit, you're going to be able to watch that video by clicking the link over there. Check that out straight after this because it's already helped out so many people and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.